Okay. Islam Sheikh Dwayne Buffalo-Bey. Islam. I'm Ron Arrington-Bey, your wife. And the day is March 24th, 2022. I am leaving Burger King, heading back to the room. It's Jupiter Day. And today I am a little tired. I did feel 4 sharp pains today in my calf, my leg, a little bit in my groin. Let's see here, and my foot. What else did I feel sharp pains? Oh, I felt a heat sensation behind here, where my medulla oblongata is, and around my back. So these are the parietals, the frontal, the occipital lobe. But I felt a heat sensation, and during that time I felt the heat sensation. It was so odd. I made a mistake. I kept feeling the heat sensation, and actually it was interesting. It came out of nowhere, and I'm not accusing anyone, but I know as a spiritual woman we are among unclean, unnatural spirits that can force engage, and what they do is they attack different parts of the lobe of your brain that connects with memory, thought, not thought, memory, so speech, motor skills. So I'm getting ready to cross the road. One moment. And so you, for a long time, you might, I never forget, going to school with this young lady. She was she was a regular young lady. She was a pharmacy tech, 19 years old. I had already had children. I had Imani and Abbas when I decided to go back to school. But I was about over 30. But she herself was probably 19. I mean, she was already a pharmacy tech. You know, she's very, very beautiful. This girl, I thought she was young. I thought she could definitely be a model. She was very beautiful. Anyway, we were studying together. We were trying to study anatomy, and she couldn't remember. She could not remember. And once again, very young, very beautiful. She was beyond the status of African American or black. She was already a pharmacy tech, and she wanted to be a pharmacist. And in order for her to be a pharmacist, she would have to pass anatomy. And so I asked her. I invited her over to my place to study with me, because I couldn't go where she wanted me to go because I had Imani and Abbas. Anyway, she came over to my place, but anyway, she couldn't remember. And even though it was difficult for me, but I remember more than she could. I mean, it wasn't that she was. I mean, once again, she was already a pharmacy tech, but she couldn't remember. And the last time, ending the class, she said she was gonna not be a pharmacy tech anymore. She was disappointed, or something like that. Or anyway, last time I talked to her, she decided, I don't know, she just stopped. So what I'm getting at is, there are unclean, unnatural spirits that have the telepathic code that have been on this landmass for a long, long time. And so you have unclean spirits that can telepathic code and cause havoc in someone's life, or keep them at a certain economic bracket, financial bracket, so that one of their males can breed with them. So it's amazing to know some males don't feel like they are up to par unless they beat a woman down, rape her. Not just males, but those also females, but predominantly males. Unless they beat a woman down, rape her, molest her, or she is not able to further and expand who she is as a natural divine being in the universe, a feminine energy. But it's true. And imagine this thought process being on a mass level, and not only that, but encouraged in a telepathic code. In a telepathic code. Imagine that. So having a generation of males growing up who feel they have to subjugate the feminine energy in order to feel a part or something, because they know they might not realize it, but the feminine energy is the real key to power, the real key to tap in to your divine side, your extraordinary abilities. Okay, so to limit and keep males that have that thought process on the low realm, not only that, so they can breed them, they give them a download to abuse that which is feminine, to subjugate, because they are just programmed to breed. That's all it is to it. They just programmed to breed. So I'm thinking about her now because how beautiful she was, and how young, so young, and so and literally I'm saying, I'm just saying she was very beautiful and young, and she could definitely have her choice of men if they were looking at beauty and thought that her description was considered to be beautiful. She would have had her choice of many men, and that goes crossing different cultures, because she had one of those looks where she could have definitely attracted many cultures. So anyway, I just thought about that now. So I felt heat sensation around the back of my mind, or my occipital lobe for a while, and I made a mistake in something else I experienced. Something else I almost did. I'm not sure, but the main mistake I did, that as I was experiencing the heat sensation from the back of my mind, was and I'm gonna use this thought, and I don't know how. Anyway, I'm not gonna use the thought. So this couple came in, an African American male and female, and they claim a nationality, and I was experiencing the heat sensation, and there was the other black male with locks. He would come and sit. I've been noticing for the past 2 weeks he is coming into Burger King, and he'll sit down for a little while, and then I saw him walk across the Wendy's where Imani works, and he has these not locks, I should say dreads. If I don't know you, I just call them dreads because I don't know his thought process. I don't know. So if you would see him, you would say he has dreads. And he's been coming into Burger King and staying for a little while, leaving, come back for the past 2 weeks. He was also in the at Burger King at the front line trying to place an order. And I was experiencing heat sensation, and actually also up here, like the sheath of my mind, or my cranium, like there was some form of invasion. Okay, so the couple, the African American male and female, I've seen them at Burger King before. They many times. So they ordered one of the meals was a Whopper Junior, a double with cheese. It was well, first of all, the male ordered a meal, and I said, do you want to upsize your meal to a small, medium, or large? And he was like, large, like that, or large. And I bust out and laughed, you know, how he said it, but also, yeah, I you know, and this is, once again, I just busted, not loud, but I did laugh. And then I caught myself, because even a laugh can offend someone in a manner, and I didn't want the lady next to him to be offended, because he was like large, and I was like, okay, you know, I was like, okay, you know. So and I don't want, you know, her to be offended or anything like that. So I made sure I said ma'am and sir, and I repeated the order, right. But when I rang it up, because they changed it, they said they wanted they said they wanted frozen drinks, frozen Cokes, instead of the cups for a fountain drink. And all the while, once again, I'm feeling heat sensation in the back of my head. And also a invasion around my cranium. And the other black male with dreads that's been coming into Burger King. One time he sat there for hours, just laying there with his head down like he was sleeping. The TV was on. Anyway, was there in a pale skin. Somehow I rang it up wrong, but I called it back right. Somehow I didn't put the large frozen Coke. So anyway, I told Thomas and James. Thomas said just give it to him. He said some other words very loud, but he said just give it to him, so I did. And because at first I did say, I think it's like, I said it's a 10 cents difference, because that's what I thought, but I could be wrong, because I was going to calculate it. But Thomas said give it to him, so I did. The guy with the dreads that was been coming to Burger King for approximately now about 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks. He, the first time I noticed him, he would just sit in the back of Burger King where the TV was with his head down. I mean, literally for hours and hours and hours. He had Burger King food there, but he just sat there with his head down like he was sleeping. Hours. And I told James, because he had left the food there, and so when James came on and I was getting ready to get off the clock, I still saw his food there. I said, I don't know if this person's coming back or not. And James said, okay, just leave it there, we'll see what happened. But he came into Burger King, and he was there. He kept ordering. First time he ordered, he said 9-piece chicken fry, just 9-piece chicken fry. I said, okay, no problem. Then he came back during the time that I made the mistake with the order, and he kept saying chicken jalapeno cheddar. chicken jalapeno cheddar, chicken jalapeno cheddar, as he was ordering. I said, what did you say? Because I couldn't understand what he was saying. And right before he came in, a pale-skinned guy came in with the USNA, which that means United States Navy, as far as what I know, just like the black male, the colors, blue and the yellow letters. Okay, he was just in the store, and I took his order. And when I took his order, James was at the drive-thru, and I said, "What did you say, sir?" And I said, "You said you want to order number 2 and just a sandwich?" And he was like, "Yes." I said, "Okay, so you order a number 2, just a sandwich." And then he said, and before he said no, I said a number. James started walking towards him and me and said, "I heard what you said from drive-thru taking the order." I said, "Oh, okay." He said, "I said a number 10, just a sandwich." And once again, he's a pale-skinned regular that comes in. He had the USNA emblem on, just like the black male had, with the yellow letters USNA and the blue around it. At extended stay yesterday and Monday, I think it was. So I was like, okay. Well, James heard him, but I didn't hear. But I did. After he corrected me, I said, okay, so you just want the original chicken sandwich, just the sandwich, the number 10. He said yes, and he had a drink. I think it was a small drink. When the black male with the dreads. So then the black male and female, they came in, they ordered, and this is when I was feeling the heat around my back of my head and feeling an invasion around my cranium. When the black male and female, when I heard they order, repeated it right, knew what they ordered, but for whatever reason, I rang it up wrong. And once again, I'm not accusing anyone, but this is what I was experiencing during that time. I found it simultaneously. And then the black male with the dreads that's been coming into Burger King for about maybe 2 weeks now, maybe approximately 2.5 weeks. First time I saw him was sitting in the back with his head down for hours with the TV on. He came again and placed the order of the he kept saying chicken jalapeno cheddar real fast, and I couldn't hear him. And I said, "James, can you come over here?" So you were able to hear the other customer from that distance. Maybe you can understand what he's saying as well, because I can understand what he was saying, the black male with the dreads. And so James came to, and he said, jalapeno cheddar bites. No, and the guy kept saying chicken, jalapeno, chicken real fast, jalapeno. And also I noticed when that happened, the number 1 and 2 came on the screen at the register. So it was supposed to be 1, I thought that's what he was saying, but 2 came up there and then disappeared. Okay, but Thomas was working on the register. This is the register I was working on. Oops, hold on. I'm walking past the Vaseline. I gotta get some Vaseline. I almost experienced, I'm talking. So I just experienced that thought. It was the helper thoughts. Okay, the helper thoughts. And I know you can tell, well, I can't say everyone can tell when your thoughts are being invaded, but I'm able to tell a lot of times because I'm studying myself. Islam, if you don't take time to study yourself, it's going to be I can't say you won't be able to, but it's difficult to know the invading thoughts from your thoughts. Okay, because remember, what I know is they try to trick the intellect so that you think that their thoughts, because so unclean spirits can replicate your inner voice. So you can think that their input, their thoughts, while they're trying to create a world, where they can exist and they can control, is you, Islam. But it's not. It's them doing it. And so therefore they'll go the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. So this is how you have masses of people being controlled and don't realize they're being controlled, especially if they haven't taken time to study their mind, or if they have the telepathic code and they think they're in control because they have the telepathic code, but they're not. So nonetheless, the guy with the dreads, he kept saying it fast, and then James couldn't understand what he was saying, and he told the guy that Berkey doesn't sell. It's sort of like the guy was, you know how you think someone is trying to help you out because of the person, because the USNA was there, and James came over to hear. I don't know, it's so odd. It was just so odd because he was like saying it so fast, like he was definitely doing it purposely. And he looked back at Wendy's, I think twice. He looked back at Wendy's where Imani works. My son Imani, SUN son Imani works at, and then Phyllis came and tried to hear what he was saying and said, "We don't sell chicken jalapeno cheddar bites," or something like that. So then he came back and he left the dread guy, and then he came back and ordered the jalapeno cheddar bites, and he was able to he said it with no problem. I mean, he said the 9-piece chicken fry with no problem, but then it just, you know how it sounds like someone's deliberately saying it fast, like adding chicken. It's not, you know, it's like that's what it sounded like he was doing, but I don't know. I'm not gonna accuse him, but that's what it sounded like. So so my work ethics were today I begged to stay on the front line. Phyllis told me to sweep, I swept. I refilled the pie case. This time I saw whoever put pies in the refrigerator, they put individual expiration dates on the pies, not just on the tray, one on each side of the tray. So I followed that because that's, you know, I mean, that's what Thomas said to do. But Phyllis said do something different, but whoever did it the way Thomas wanted it. So I put the second tray in, and I made sure I put the individual sticker on each pie. James said get milk. I got milk. I emptied the trash. Just kept the counters wiped, and I just basically stayed on the front line. Because that's usually how Phyllis wants me to, what she wants me to do when I am on her shift, and she lets me know when she wants me to go and do the dining room and so forth. I did wipe down the registers. I heard her speaking to Minnie, saying that she was like, you see how wet the register was, and I said, to Mindy, and I was like, and I joined in the conversation. I said, I know I'm gonna go over it, because I did squeeze the towel out, but I said I'm gonna go over it with a dry with a napkin. She said, and she made the comment that she said for me not to clean it that way, but Rhonda's gonna do what she want to do. I said, oh, you did? I was trying to recall when she possibly have told me, because I was thinking the last time we had this conversation, she was just saying it was wet, and go over it, you know, or the implication was make sure that you dry the screen, but I said, well, I said, you know, I told her, I said, how should I clean it? Can you tell me? I just paused, cause I was trying to, cause I figured if she can tell me what she expect for me to do, what she expect, how she want me to clean it, then I maybe can recall us having a conversation about her saying not to use the sanitizer in the red bucket with the towel to clean the registers and so forth, and because I would squeeze it out really, really good and just go over them, because I cleaned the condiment stands also today and so forth. And then when I saw that it was still wet, I would just take a napkin or a paper towel and just go over and make sure it's dry. But she told me to get out her face and start talking to her, so I did, or something like that. She definitely said get out her face, and so I just turned around and said the communication, I guess that means is in the conversation. So I did. Okay, it is March 24th, 2022.